very much. Please be seated.
So I am introducing GSM BAM to come and do the needful by giving us his speech and delivering his address. You're welcome to the podium, Your Excellency.
Thank you. In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful. Your Excellency, our dear National Chairman, and other distinguished members of the National Working Committee, I know that the protocol has been well laid out by the MC of the party. PDP, PDP, power. Your Excellencies, in the course of my life, I have been privileged to lead many important problem-solving teams and assignments. But the committee to review the performance of our party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in 2019 elections has been, to put it mildly, like no other one. Throughout my career as a journalist, civil servant, Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or minister, or even now as a state governor, never have I found myself so greatly challenged as it has been with the present assignment. There are at least two reasons for this. First, being saddled with the assignment of unraveling how and why so great an opportunity to reclaim the presidency slipped the fingers of the party in 2019 has been at once more exciting and challenging. Second, the need to reclaim political leadership of the country has never been more urgent than now against the backdrop of the floundering ship of state, which is not only running adrift, but appears to be heading perilously towards the precipice. Thus, the report that we are soon to present has been produced in the light of the above, and particularly the desire to rediscover these enduring qualities enunciated by the founding fathers of our great party, qualities that place the party in good standing to lead the country between 1999 and 2015. We are talking about an era that gave Nigerians the opportunity to buy a liter of fuel at 97 naira, as against 167 naira today. A 50 kg bag of rice at 9,000 naira, as against 23,000 naira today. When a one-way flight between Port Harcourt and Abuja never cost more than 30,000, as against 65,000 naira today. And travelers could travel by road between Calabar and Maiduguri without their families losing sleep over their safety, unlike the present nightmare scenario where kidnappers have turned every road trip into a journey to the unknown. We are talking about a PDP government that said what it meant and meant what it said in those days. Mr. Chairman, this report is made of 4 sections, namely general observations, 2, why we lost, 3, the way forward, and 3, appendix of past reports. A Nigerian adage has it that if you do not know where the rain began to beat you, you will never know when it stopped. Thus, in the first section, we give a historical perspective of those glorious days when our party, in vision, organization, and impact, held the promise of reigning uninterruptedly until, due to certain actions and inactions, we lost and became consigned to a status of an opposition. The second section is an in-depth inquest aimed at explaining why, despite the near consensus that the ruling party had roundly failed in its self-professed mandate, particularly in the area of security. Our great party was unable to take advantage of the overwhelming national discontent to reclaim power. The third section paints a roadmap for repositioning the party to rescue the nation from the steep descent into anarchy and save our people from the present climate of insecurity, misrule, and ineptitude. We have included the appendix as a reminder that while it is one thing to identify a problem, it is another to solve it. As can be seen from the appendix, our party has had many reports in the past that were not implemented. This time around, we must resolve to be different by implementing the decisions that command the consensus of our party and other corporate Nigerians. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, the leaders and members of our great party, it was a great political and religious leader of all, Sir Usman Dampodio, who said that conscience is an open wound, only truth can heal it. Today, we live in times that challenge the integrity of men and women. Whether anyone agrees or not, the country has arrived at the moment of truth. Therefore, to reclaim the national mandate and guarantee the stability and progress of this great nation, it is our considered position that our party, the PDP, must return to those truths that endeared stakeholder buy-in in its programs, that endeared it to the generality of Nigerians, and that conferred on it the moral authority to speak without fear of being contradicted. The summary of our report is that the party must promote practices that will deepen democracy, promote national unity, and inspire great faith in our country, especially among the youth and the several stakeholder groups yearning for inclusion. Below are the highlights of the report. 1. Cognizant of the generational and gender shifts all over the globe and the emergence of a new generation of Nigerians who are not held down by religion, ethnicity, or such other primordial considerations, but who are determined to mainstream the country into global best practice, the party should set aside a certain percentage of elective and appointed offices for youth and women. The NSAS movement a few months back was the testimony we needed, and that a new generation of young, bold, ambitious, and detribalized Nigerians have taken center stage, and that their legitimate clamor for inclusion and good governance can only be ignored at the peril of the party or Nigeria. 2. In line with one above, the party must strongly resolve to promote internal democracy, discourage godfatherism, and ensure that the will of the people prevail in the choice of candidates to run for electoral positions. Thus, in our view, is the pedestal upon which electoral success can be seamlessly sustained. 3. Further to two above, our great party should continue to lead by example. Our past records, which ushered in an era of economic growth, was only made possible because we had members in elected and appointed positions who performed very well. It goes without saying that those of us who are privileged to hold offices in this point must see themselves as the image makers of the party, whose actions or inactions could determine the future success or otherwise of the party. Number 4, in line with certain unwritten conventions of the nation's history, many people think that for fairness and equity, the Northeast and the Southeast geopolitical zones that have had the shortest stints at the presidency should be given special consideration in choosing the presidential flag bearer of the party in 2023 elections. While we admit this is a very strong argument, we should not lose sight of the fact that Nigeria is endowed with many capable and very experienced leaders in every part of the country. Moreover, the exigencies of the moment demand that nothing should be compromised in choosing the leader with the attributes to disentangle the country from the present quagmire. Therefore, we think that every Nigerian from every part of the country should be given the opportunity to choose the best candidates through a credible primary election as a way of institutionalizing a merit-based leadership recruitment process for the country and for the party. 5, the endemic frictions of intergovernmental relations, especially between the states and the federal government, suggest that the present constitutional arrangement is grossly inadequate to contend with changing demographic and democratic challenges. Our party must therefore push for either a review and endorsement of the 2014 Constitutional Conference report or for a new constitutional conference to be organized. In short, the party should advocate for genuine restructuring that fosters decentralization, endangers national unity, guarantees security of lives and property for all Nigerians, no matter where they reside in the country, and which promotes economic prosperity and overall well-being of our dear people. Number 6, the party should actively encourage the current reform by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to make it truly independent and to be able to conduct elections devoid of coercive apparatus of the state, underhand manipulations, and outright intimidation of voters. Number 7, the military should be insulated from the conduct of elections as their presence breeds intimidation and questions the integrity of the process. Above all, it denies some of the candidates a level playing field that is a singular barometer for ascertaining the wishes of the people. Similarly, the police should be made to be more impartial in the supervision of all elections. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, leaders of our party, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, we do not pretend that this single report contains all the answers to the questions or all the solutions to our problems. It was this recognition that informed our decision to include the past reports as an appendix, especially the Senator Ikramadu report. Mr. Chairman, the level of support given to the committee in the course of this work has strengthened my conviction that the PDP will reclaim its status as the party of the majority of Nigerians and form the next government. In this regard, our gratitude goes first to our past leaders of the country, especially Presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, General Ibrahim Babangida, and Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, as well as former President Atiku Abubakar, for not only granting us audience, but the candid insights and counsel they volunteered to the committee. Others who gave invaluable support are the former Vice President Nnamdi Sambo, and we thank all members of the PDP Governors Forum, my colleagues, especially our member, our chairman, the Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, the founding members of the party, Professor Jerry Gana, even though he's not here, he helped us a lot with a lot of insight, and General Aliyu Gusau, former Senate Presidents Iyocha Ayu, Anyim Pius Anyim, David Mark, and Bukola Saraki, and the Deputy Senate President Ike Koramadu, the Chairman of the PDP Board of Trustees BOT, Senator Walid Jibrim, and other BOT members who gave us valuable information, and other members and the former PDP Governors Forum who also give us a lot of insights. Especially, there are number two members, Alhaji Sule Lamido, and my elder brother, Dr. Babangida Aliyu, who was not only a member of the committee, but also the chairman of the forum. We also thank other leaders like Liel Imoke, and of course, our indefatigable chairman of the former ministers forum, Kabiru Tanimu Turaki-san, and all the members of the ministers forum. The roll call also includes High Chief Tom Ikimi, Senate and House leaders, Senator Abaribe and Imalulu, respectively, and other our zonal chairman, the chairman of our chapters, our youth and women groups, as well as the civil society groups and NGOs of the party, and other leaders too numerous to mention. While the responsibility for the final report lies with the committee, we wish to acknowledge that their varied contributions, guidance, and support made it possible for us to come up with this report. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have deliberately reserved our special gratitude to you, our dear Chairman of the National Working Committee, most distinguished Uchel Secondus, and other members of the Working Committee for the privilege given us and the opportunity to undertake this very important national assignment. The same thing goes to the members of the committee who, despite the complex logistic and environmental challenges created by COVID-19 pandemic, still devoted considerable energy and time to the assignment. In this regard, our ageless Amazon and loyal party leader, Senator Stella Omo, deserves special recognition. So also is the Secretariat team, ably led by indefatigable and highly experienced Deputy National Secretary, Dr. Emmanuel Agbo, and my Commissioner for Planning, Dr. Aminu Gamawa, and the Chairman of my PDP chapter in Bauchi, Alhaji Hamza Kosha Akuyam. Through their personal presence and participation and guidance, they ensured that necessary consultations, meetings and examinations of memoranda from all the state chapters of the party, civil society organizations, and other interest groups were aptly handled and incorporated in the report. For their sake, and for our loyal and patriotic party men and women, and for the sake of the millions of Nigerian voters, we desperately and justifiably desire a better deal. It is my hope and prayer that this report will provide the path to rescue and redeem Nigeria from the kind of precipice and cluelessness that we have been subjected due to the absence of the party, the PDP, at the national level. We thank you most sincerely. May God bless everybody. Thank you. Presentation. Yes, I will explain.
PDP, power to the people. The chairman, the national chairman is out here to receive the report as presented.
Your Excellency, the national chairman, it is my singular honor and privilege to present a copy of the report that has been printed in many copies, and I hope it will be circulated to all the organs and veritable members of the party so that it will make us better and put us in a position under your good guidance to reclaim power in Nigeria come 2023. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your Excellency, the first is the main report, and the second is the appendix containing all the memoranda, all the suggestions, and the past reports of the party that we have received, especially the Ike Koromado report that we thought it was not well implemented. And we know your pedigree. We know your courage, you and your members of the working committee. We believe that you will be able to implement not only our report, but the former report that was submitted to the party under the guidance of all the organs of the party to the benefit of Nigerians, but most importantly, to the PDP. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman of this great party, distinguished Uche Secondus, the chairman of this committee, Governor Bala Mohammed, for what I see as a very wonderful report that has been prepared by this distinguished committee. I cannot see how that report can fail, because noting the distinguished membership of that committee, was like a roll call of who is who in our party and perhaps in our country. When you put the report that we are receiving today side by side the report of the former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, and in the hands of the chairman of our party to implement, I believe that the wish of all Nigerians today that the PDP must return to power will be fulfilled. The difference between the PDP and the APC is just like the difference between night and day. It is very clear now to everyone, whether you are blind or seeing, that the APC has put Nigeria in a big hole. It is only the PDP that can rescue Nigeria today. Let me tell you, all those who imagine that there could be a third party for 2023 are living in cuckoo land. There is not any other party that will take us to the promised land apart from the PDP. Let me also say that the time has now come for all the good people of the PDP, active or not active, to ensure that there is stability in our party, to ensure that our party is not disturbed. Nothing should make us return to that era of the Sharif administration anymore. Therefore, it is my hope that this report would be carefully studied. It should not be made a public document for now. It should be in the party. And after it has been well studied and the implementation is coming out, can the details be released? The details should not be given to our enemies at this time. This report should be private, should be personal to our party for us to work out the programs that will bring us to Government House in 2023. Distinguished Senator Bala Mohammed, I thank you very much for this report and for these very good things you have said in your opening statements. You have talked about a new generation, and that is true. People like myself are only here to assist in handing over leadership to the new generation. The outstanding record of our party is there. We know the founding fathers of our party. They are still there and very, very interested in the fortunes of our party. So we who are here today, we must do all it is necessary to ensure that a new generation takes over strongly in our party. And we must do everything as necessary to ensure that there is a good blend between the women and the men in our party and the youths of our party. Democracy is important. I believe that we have a chairman who is now committed to ensuring internal democracy in our party. And therefore, we shall be in a position to ensure that democracy is preserved in our country. Chairman of this committee has told us what it was like in life when the PDP was in power. What was the cost of food? What was the cost of fuel? What was the cost of transportation, etc., etc.? It is now something that we cannot bear. I received a message overnight, which is, I believe, going now in social media. The comments that the president of Ghana made about Nigeria. Those of you who have received it, read it. Unfortunately, it is what I can say is that what the president of Ghana has said is true. I had the opportunity of attending the funeral of the late president of Ghana, President Rawlings, and I sat down and listened also to the statement of this president personally that he made in his statement that morning. He referred to what happened in 1983 or 84, when millions of Ghanaians were driven away from Nigeria. And he said that they were well received in Ghana and re-established by Rawlings. Today, Nigerians are moving to Ghana. That should not be the case. Thank you very much.
Very much. Your Excellency, the chairman of our great party, the chairman of this committee, governor of Bauchi State. If you permit me, let me stand on all existing protocol. PDP, let me join others in commending the leadership of the party led by the chairman for quickly putting in place this committee to look at what happened in 2019. That vision and that prompt action must be commended. Let me then also commend Your Excellency Governor of Bauchi and all the very experienced, competent, able, not only party leaders, leaders of this country who have worked very tirelessly to give this report. I think the report, the timing of the report, the quality of the report shows the seriousness of this party in truly getting ready for 2023. I think that sets a new stage for us to build on. I think 2023 elections are won a year, 2 years before. They're not won in 2022, they're won in 2021. And I think this step that we are starting here today, not only by the report, the kind of attendance we see here by members of the party, shows the importance that we are truly serious. Secondly, I think we must believe in ourselves. As all party members across this country, we must believe that we can win. That is a large factor. I want to make an appeal to our leaders across the country that this is an election for us to lose and win each other, but we must believe in ourselves for the sake of the 200 million Nigerians who are looking for a party to rescue this country. This is not the time for us leaders to put our personal interests or not believe. Power comes from the Almighty God. I think we need to be strong enough to face the challenge. It will be tough, it will be rough, but please, let us not give up this party and sell it to just for crumbs. This party is the only party that can take us to the right place for us to be as a better country. Chairman, members, for all those who have worked so hard in doing this report, former Deputy Senate Presidents and others, the only thing just we can do for the effort is to see that their recommendations are fully implemented. Let me use this opportunity while we have started our work in the Reconciliation Committee, the goodwill, the desire, the enthusiasm of Nigerians are with this party. And I want to appeal to all of us. We must begin to ensure full inclusion, particularly as said in this report, youth and women. We should not say just by lip service, but by action. And I think that doing that and being truly committed, inshallah, we will form government in 2023. I thank you all. Thank you so much.
Chairman, distinguished party leaders, excellencies, let me say that I actually told her not to call me because I'm a member of the committee. And I don't think that it is right for that I should come and then also say, well done. I'm saying well done to myself. So next time, look for somebody else to call. But let me say that I'm very glad to be part of this committee. I'm sorry I came a little late, Mr. Chairman. I was doing another fight in the House, and you will hear about it tomorrow. Because our job is to make them very, very uncomfortable. And I actually made them uncomfortable today to the extent that we called for a division, and then they had to call me to beg, which I like. I want to say that the steps to take us to 2023 is being laid today, just like everybody has said. And members of the National Assembly are all committed to be part of this journey. The only thing that we can ask, like our memo from the National Assembly, just give us a fair chance. That has always been the problem with our party. I'm pretty certain that that recommendation that has been made, that internal democracy should be the source of everything that we do, will lead us to. And I want to also ask for your support and your prayers. We have an election in Aba on Saturday, 27th. And I intend that we should also show that Abia State is a PDP state. Thank you very much.
The chairman of our party, Prince Ute Secondus, is to receive the report of the committee headed by Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi. I want to commend very seriously the effort of the governor, Bala Mohammed, not only running effectively the government of Bauchi State, but also participating faithfully in giving his assistance to our party, the PDP. I want to congratulate Bala Mohammed and his members of the committee for a work well done. Another very important report is coming to us. That is the Reconciliation Committee, headed by President Okada Taraki, who is doing a very important work as it is today. I do hope that his support will also come to us very soon. What I want to say, because of time, is to advise our members from the grassroots to the top, because the BOT has been meeting day and night, and we have come to a conclusion that the unity of this party is the most important thing for us to do now. We should live in fighting all kinds of abuses and pace the progress of our party only. We should never repeat the past experiences of what somebody has already said, the era of Madhu Sharif, and what happened up to the Supreme Court. We have no time for that now. We have time only for action. This party is built and we must exist and must be ready for 2023 when we are sure we are going to take the power in Nigeria by the grace of God. I want to assure you the recent registration by the APC is just a child play. Our own, when it comes, is for all Nigerians, is for us to come back to power in 2023 by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
National Chairman, sir.
PDP, power to the people. Your Excellency, the Deputy National Chairman of our party, by the way, he acted in my absence, so he can now be called former acting national chairman. So a few weeks ago. Our National Secretary and members of National Working Committee, the Chairman
of the post-mortem, I would like to call it, committee that examined what happened in 2019 committee. Senator, His Excellency Bala Mohammed, your secretary and all your members, the former Senate President, Senator Saraki, and the also Chairman Board of Trustees and the Secretary, distinguished Senator Wabra, former Senate President. When the chairman of this committee spoke, I was almost, I was somehow in a trance, somehow, because his oratory power and the voice was looking like that voice of former minister, Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa at a point. I said, how did this manage? But you can give it to him. A very hard-working. He was in the Senate. He was also the Minister of FCT, and he discharged his responsibility without fear or favor. Now the governor of Bauchi State. Let me first and foremost congratulate you and your team. You have done a thorough job. Like others have said, every end of election is the beginning of another one. But you cannot start without a roadmap. The report you have given us today is the roadmap to our victory in 2023. Your Excellency, if you recall that at the 87th National Executive Committee NEC meeting of our great party in this very hall, the month of January 2020, approval was given for the constitution of your committee. This party has always formed the positive habit of examining their actions, our actions, with a view to properly understanding how and why they fared in all elections. After the 2015 election that put us out of power, the party, under my leadership as acting national chairman, set up a senior review committee headed by the then Deputy Senate President, Senator Ike Kuremadu. It was the analysis from the Ike Kuremadu Committee and their report that informed the direction of the party in the subsequent 2019 election. In other words, that Ike Kuremadu Committee gave a roadmap to 2019 election. The implementation of that report, it may not be all, but gave rise to a well-informed report of the rebranding of the party, the 3 arrows: reform, reposition, and regain power. And of a truth, it was a hallmark. Our presidential primary, so far so good, was recorded as the best, both nationally and internationally. In October 2018, and I can assure you that with this report today, we will continue to build on that benchmark to improve and move forward. Your Excellency, in 2019 general election, there was quite a lot of improvement. At that point, we were in control of 11 states. At 2015, based on the report of Ike Kuremadu and the performance of our party, both from the national level to local level, we get 16 states. You are aware that we won in Kano, we won also in Osun, and we won in several other states. In fact, from report, both the Security Council and the observers, we actually got 19 states, and we won the presidential election, which we were denied. And so this party did extremely very, very well. Your committee was set up in the same spirit to look back and find out how we fared in 2019 and why we got the outcome. Your terms of reference said it all, that to, among other, to identify the remote and immediate causes responsible for the loss of the 2019 presidential election, the National Working Committee monitored diligently your committee performance, how you embarked on wide-range consultations with critical stakeholders of our party, particularly founding fathers, and also your involvement of consultants and other technical hands. Election in Nigeria, it is no longer analog. It is now digital. And so you cannot do a complete work without the involving some technical hands. So we want to commend you for involving experts, consultants, data analysts, IT specialists, and other people who had assisted the committee to come out with this report. I think the report is very robust. I have no doubt in my mind that your report will form the bedrock of our party's plans ahead of 2023 general elections. It starts from today. We must sink our differences. If we're looking forward to rescue this nation, it must start from today. The NWC is going to study and analyze your report meticulously and come up with a position that will be beneficial to our party. It is important that we will set up an implementation committee on this report immediately so that we can move with action. The PDP is putting no stone unturned to ensure it regains federal power. Is going to be the takeoff and keystone to our subsequent actions ahead of 2023. On this note, we urge the President Buhari and his APC administration to embark on immediate electoral reform that will ensure free, fair, and transparent election in the country and put Nigeria in the parity with other developed democracies in the world, just like Ghana. Having failed roundly in the delivery of any dividend to Nigerian people, and having brought the country to a status of a failed nation with unprecedented collapse of all our structures, APC knows as fact now that Nigerians will not want to do anything with them again. As a result, they are putting all stops on the way to conducting credible election, but we need to warn that the only thing that is keeping this country alive today, what is keeping this country alive today is the fact that APC will be history in 2023. That is a fact. It's on ground. They are also aware of this reality, and they are trying to use their usual propaganda to create a different image for themselves. You are aware sometimes they will just, for no reason, They will come out of the press and media. Oh, 4 governors from PDP are decamping. Is that the business? Is that the reason why they were given the mandate to rule the country? Every day you are looking for either PDP governors or PDP stalwarts. First, the business of governance. We believe that they can no longer fool Nigerians again. We cannot be fooled again. Relying on the recommendation of this report, the NWC will work with very strong think tank. And please, all the party leaders of our country that have the capacity, they must come up, because it's not an easy thing to put together a team that will work out the details of how we are going to win elections. So we are going to work with think tanks, consultants, and critical stakeholders of our great party to enhance the new PDP, new narratives. Because we've carved out a new image, we've rebranded the party, we've repositioned the party that will help address the yearning absence of leadership. Because in Nigeria today, there's complete and absolute absence of leadership. That's why you can see there's an absolute security breakdown, the economy broken down, every aspect and facet of life. Nigerians are in trouble. So we require our leaders to stand up. Yesterday, I addressed the women. They formed an action committee. I'd like to inform this audience that the women are ready, like women who believe that they will take the front stage. And you recall the Margaret Egbos, and you recall the Ransom Kuti. There are women at that critical time in the history of our country that laid some kind of a revolution that transformed the country. And so the women are ready, ably led by our national woman leader, to lead again, once again. They are not going to keep quiet. They are going to start, and the action committee will start moving out as quickly as possible. They will get what they desire and what they want. The same thing with the youth. We are also putting the youth at very top priority in our agenda in moving this party forward, that they will take the center stage just like the women. And by next week, we will inaugurate the action committee. So we are moving forward. We will continue to build the party along the line of the recommendations with a view to cultivating wide support base with utmost urgency towards 2023. It is now very, very urgent. We must come together and take over and rescue our nation. Aside the frightening security situation, of course you are aware, every day, even in Abuja here, nobody is safe. Which we all know. Just this Monday, the National Bureau of Statistics released fearful data of unemployment situation in the country to be over 33%. Very fearful. By the time you minus the minors, and the age in our population, you will discover that virtually all our youth population are unemployed. This is established facts. You remove the children, you remove the aged, you will see that virtually all the youths are unemployed. The country is in problem. That's why we are putting our youth first. They must be given urgent attention. They can contest. They can be appointed. They must be in the forefront to rescue the nation. Why then should we be surprised that the nation is being overwhelmed with banditries, kidnapping, terrorism, and all whatnot? Our youthful population has been ignored. That is the youth. The current government has ignored them and abandoned them. And so we need to put them together. With all these sour tales of our country, PDP has no option but to redouble their efforts to ensure that good governance is returned to the country. And of course, Our governors are the best in the country today. You can't hear the APC governors commissioning project or inaugurating anyone, but it is only the PDP. From Sokoto to Bauchi to Yola to Delta to Enugu and all round to Port Harcourt, to Rivers, to Akwa Ibom and Cross River. So you can see that our governors are the best. By the grace of God, everything shows that clearly that Mr. President Buhari and his APC have been overwhelmed and they have no capacity to deliver any good anymore in this country. They are missing in action. So you need to rise to this occasion. May I use this forum to charge PDP members and all lovers of democracy across this nation and beyond to put their acts together. It is time, the call by the BOT chairman, that unity, unity, unity is the key to success. Unity, unity, unity is the key to success. We must come together, not for our own self alone, but for the interest of the 200 million people in Nigeria that are waiting for our leaders here to take over the reign of affairs of the country and bring smiles on the faces of our people. Your Excellency, I want to thank you especially for the pain you have taken to put together and your members this all-important document. This document is clearly will give the National Working Committee and other members that we are going to inaugurate very soon, the Implementation Committee, a roadmap. And I want to assure you on behalf of the leadership of the party that we will implement this report precept by precept in all of them so that we can get to the victory land where we're expecting to do. By the special grace of God, we know that it is time for our people, especially the women and the youth, to come together. If they don't come together, to rescue this nation will be very, very, very difficult. So we are taxing the women and we are taxing the youth that they must play the center stage in rescuing this nation from the hands of APC. May I appreciate on behalf of the party leadership a exceptional job of your committee to ensure you that the recommendation will be given critical consideration looking ahead, and on behalf of the leadership of our party, we want to congratulate all of you. But don't relax. You may be called up any moment from now to implement some of this in one way or the other. We're going to set up several committees that will go ahead to implement the report that we have received today. I want to thank all of you that have found time to come and to look at the documents. In fact, the first document, it is easy to go through it, but the other voluminous document is the details of the report. This is the first time we are receiving the first one, which is like a summary, and the detailed report that can be for a case study for those who are looking to do their PhD or PhD thesis. We are not surprised Babangida Ali is there, and all of them that have gone through that. So we, on behalf of the party, we have received the report, and we will set up quickly the implementation committee and assure you that we are going to move this party forward. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
So why did you say that the Southeast and Northeast deserve to be given the presidency or attention so that they'll get the presidential ticket in 2023?
No, I didn't say it. Is the committee and the consensus of opinion that we got from all the state chapters, because they had little stint at the presidency. You can see how many presidents or leaders of Nigeria are produced from those geopolitical zones. But at the same time, we took cognizance of democracy and democratic practice, that Nigerians across all the sections of the country should be given free and unhindered access to power, so that we can do a merit-based recruitment of leadership in the country.
But that's something contradictory.
No,
it's not. East and North should be given opportunities.
Well, that is the feeling of Nigerians, that this situation should be clearly placed on the table, that there is a lot of agitation from the southeast and the northeast. But that notwithstanding, we must not put aside the need for democracy and for Nigerians that may be better in terms of capacity from other zones to be given the opportunity also. We need good hands. We need people with capacity. We need people that are free from all these encumbrances, all this prejudice of religion, of geography, and so on and so forth. And we have plenty of them. They are afraid of even coming into the political space. We should open up the political terrain so that they can come, participate, and then we get the best out of them. There is no need for recycling leadership. We must give our youth the opportunity. We have seen what they can do in other parts of the globe. And even here during the NSAS, within no minutes, within one day, they were able to coordinate themselves. So we need this. And again, Nigeria is pushed to the precipice because of differences here and there. And these young Nigerians are driven by good governance, the need for services and infrastructure, and so on and so forth. Free resources from within. We don't have to have so much money to be borrowing money here and there. We have resources in Nigeria to do it.
Your Excellency, what gives you the confidence that this report will be implemented, considering that other reports were jettisoned, like the Korematsu report?
I like the courage of the current NWC headed by Uche Secondos, because nobody called me after they inaugurated the committee. They gave us unhindered access and freedom and autonomy to do it. And you can see the array of people from all the geopolitical zones, and we sat down and assessed the situation without any interference. And I believe, since it is a consensus of opinion, and it has never been done in the way and manner we did, our modus operandi was to go to the owners of the country, in parentheses, former leaders, and we cascaded our own interaction down to the level of the CBOs and then NGOs.
Thank you.